Welcome back. Now, considering the range of commodities and trades online that are dependent on foreign exchange, one can only imagine the inflationary effect on the economy. So, what drives inflation in Nigeria, and why is the Naira experiencing a free fall in the forex market? Joining me to speak to these issues is the trade expert and managing director, Hantec Africa Limited, Mike Fowokwe. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, let's begin by knowing what the forex exchange market entails.
Well, the FX market is the largest market in the world. Like you said, over 7 trillion US dollars is being traded. And the market actually was designed for certain things, and I mentioned one. It's where the currency of one country to another is the exchange. Okay, so that's one of the reasons. Then also two, for, should I say, inter-border transactions. That's another reason. Then three, where a lot of people, we have a lot of players, is for hedging purpose. You know, because there's risk in that fluctuation. So a lot of people come to the market to hedge against certain things. So the FX market is the largest and the most liquid market in the world.
All right, so how is the market currently doing in terms of trading and transaction at the FX market? How are we using that?
Okay, fine. Basically, depending on how a trader is approaching it. For Nigeria, we have a lot of players in the derivative sector of the FX market. Okay, and there's so much volatility in this market in the sense that if you click, you are filled instantly. Okay, if you want to do any transaction, you get executed instantly, compared to the equity market, where sometimes you want to buy, should I say, a share, and there's nobody willing to sell, you know. But in this market, the volatility is amazing, because we have big players always transacting in the market and make it a lot of volume and so much volatility in the market.
In any way, is the ban by CBN on some items playing a role in this affecting the rise in dollar and foreign exchange?
That's a very good question. You know, one thing the government has done that I so much like, they've been able to identify, the needs that is causing this dollar, demand, which is very good. Because if we don't know the root of this, we would just be playing to the gallery. Okay, so they've done so well as far as I'm concerned. For instance, now we have investors investing into agriculture. So we have, I think, a Boa sugar plantation. You know, so the cost of, should I say, the demand for dollar in that sector will go down, which is very good. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Kosharis also have a very massive rice plantation in the east. Okay, by the time all these investments start to mature, of course, the demand for dollar in such sector is going to contribute to the reduction of the overall demand of dollar generally. So it's a good thing. I support that most of our needs should be localized. I support it. I love my country. I'm in Nigeria, and I'm crazy. I'm passionate about this country. I support the government initiative to make sure that the rise in dollar is being tamed, because it's not good for anybody. I can remember laptop is at the international market is still maybe $1,000 or pavilion. But if you look at the price, last year was still 360,000 naira compared to now 505,000 naira, and the costs at the international market is still the same. So it's not good for us, and I think the government should be more aggressive to ensure that the price is driven down.
Let me ask this question. How
Yes.
can government actually use the forex market to boost our economy?
Now, in regulating the industry, the government can earn taxes from that sector, and there's a whole lot of volume in that. In that sector that the government is just ignoring. We have been on the front line, having the conversation with the government to look at that industry, because a lot of people are trading this market. I can say over 300,000 Nigerians are in this market, and there's so much volume. If you look at Kenya, the market in Kenya, the industry got regulated like 5 years ago, and Kenya adopted the template that we designed for the government. So if the government should come and regulate the industry, it's going to be a lot of help. One, it will create an opportunity for other institutional players to trade in other asset classes. That's one, which is opportunity for them to make more money if they know what they are doing. Then two, it will also give a revenue to the government in terms of taxes. So I support that the government should be part of this in form of regulating the industry.
Are we really cashing in?
Yeah, I personally, I've been trading for the past 17 years, and I've been doing very well. There's a lot of advantage. Like I said, but the volatility is very good. Yes, some might say it's like a two-edged sword. But if you know what you're doing, if you get the right education, it's really, really good, because it's a market that runs 24/7. So if you are not in the, let's say, London session because of your 9 to 5 days job, you could do the Asian time where you trade the Japanese related currency pair. So it gives opportunity for people to actually make money. These days I have people looking for a job, and the government cannot help everybody, and that's the truth. So it puts it puts food on the table of people. And that's one thing it does. And it helps. For instance, if you are the type that is, let's say, buying into commodities, you could reduce your possible loss by hedging your position. And this is something where most Nigerians are not playing. And in the advanced country, they do a lot. You can hedge your position so that it reduces your potential loss.
All right, I'm glad that you mentioned that there's a lot of volatility in the market, because we've had consistent rise in the FX market. What are the driving factors for this?
Basically, if you look at it's just demand and supply that is driving price. When there's so much demand, price goes up. I remember those days in secondary school. It doesn't make sense to me that there's so much demand, price will crash, but it goes up. So basically, there's a huge demand for FX in Nigeria, and why? Because we are a consuming nation. And that's the reason why almost everything is imported. And that itself is, cost demand for dollar to be high. Almost everything. Maybe it's only pure water we are not importing in this country. You can imagine, for almost everything we have, we are always in need of dollar to import such things. When the demand is outrageous, of course it will push our price to go up. Yes, it's one of the reasons why there's inflation, because for me, inflation is when, the purchasing power of the currency is dwindling, and the cost of prices going up. The demand for FX, as a dollar in Nigeria, is crazy. It will drive price to go up.
Nigeria's inflation rate plunged further by 17.75%, according to the National Bureau of Statistics. Now, is there any way we'll say the FX market played a huge role in that?
In Nigeria, there are a lot of, indicators that we can use to look at the inflation rate. Now, what we have to look at, what's the ratio of the forex? But then it contributes because, as demand for dollar rises, the cost of the rate goes higher, and the cost of goods also goes up, and the strength of our own currency goes down. So I believe it does, but the magnitude is what we should not compare to the other basket of dollar demand.
Of course, we signed a swap currency with China. Are we actually utilizing that window well?
It depends. If we are actually doing good business with China, it depends, you know. But I know we have. But if you look at most of our products, we do with US, we do with Indians. Most of our oil goes to Indian. You know, it depends on the amount of trade between Nigeria and China.
Continental Free Trade Area. How can we use the foreign exchange well there? Because there's a series of complaints about high costs of the FX.
When it comes to price reduction, driving, they should come with policies, initiatives that will make that sector to be very, very interesting, and then reduce.
What kind of policies?
Yeah, like one of them, which we are doing, is localizing those needs. It's very important. The government is trying, but we need to do more. You know, if we, I strongly believe this present government is really trying. For instance, I remember one time in the analysis they gave that 40% of the dollar consumption comes from PMS importation. So let there be refinery working in Nigeria, so that this large chunk is taken off the forex demand. We're going to see a crash in the price, and it's going to be better off for the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Great insight there. I've been speaking with Managing Director Hantec Africa Limited, Mike Forokwe. We thank you so much for coming on the program. All right, that has been the portfolio for the week. Join us again next week for another key conversation on the economy and more. Be safe. COVID-19 is still out there and it's real. I'm Comfort. I'm Modu. See you next time.